Magic cut. It's a different style of magic cut.
This is custom. I hand forged that one.
Did you? I noticed it was a little different. It's nice though. You can pound it in nice. And I saw you doing that, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. It's just a Kevin special magic hook. Yeah. For that reason, right there. Pound her in.
I had one job over out of Portland. I had to basically skid the oak log about 30 feet with it.
That's the tricks you learn.
Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. While we get this sycamore loaded up on the mill, I thought I would talk a little bit about sycamore. So sycamore is a hardwood, and it is often confused with maple. There's actually a European sycamore, which is an actual type of maple, but the American sycamore is not. It's a hardwood with a similar hardness. It runs about 770 on the Jenke scale, whereas the soft maples tend to run from about 700 to over 1,000. And the hard maple, which is actually sugar maple, or sometimes called rock maple, runs closer to 1,200 on the Jenke scale. So I think it's like 1,150 or something like that. So first of all, sycamore, this is the American sycamore. It is actually a hardwood. And what's interesting about sycamore is it has a lot of different uses. Sometimes those uses will surprise you. You know, it's very commonly used for plywoods, veneers, trim, pallets and crates, even flooring, particle board. It's used for pulpwood, it's used for furniture, and also a lot of different turning projects. It can be used for handles of different things, that kind of stuff. Very popular for turning. It's a good hardwood. Now, the one thing about American sycamore, or what we call just sycamore here, is that you can actually get rayfleck in it if you quarter saw it. So it does do better when quarter sawn than when flat sawn, though it is very, very similar to maple. So if you want to flat saw maple, you can flat saw sycamore. It just tends to move a little bit more. And this sycamore, boy, I'll tell you, it was dripping wet. Water was pouring out of it. Anyway, we got it up on the deck, and I keep saying we, but I guess I should say Kevin got it up on the deck. Me and my back just aren't allowed to help out, so I'm just doing the filming here. We got it up on the deck, and I want you to pay attention to some of the things that Kevin does that are a little different than what I do. You're gonna notice that when he finishes a cut, he shuts off the band. He's got the auto clutch on his LT40, just like I do. I leave mine running, but he shuts his down, and then when he comes back and hits the down switch, he hits the auto clutch again. He says that it saves him quite a bit of fuel doing that, and it's something that I haven't tried doing yet. So I'm gonna have to try that once I get back on my mill. You'll also get to see a little bit of a reverse roll with the side supports later on in the video, so you're gonna wanna see that, and I'll be sure to point it out when he does it. So let's let Kevin get going. Let's get this one milled down and just kind of watch. I think you're gonna enjoy this one, folks. We're gonna get this log done. It's a beast, but Kevin's got time and experience on this mill. And one last quick thing I wanted to mention is a lot of guys see these logs and they say, not on my mill, I'm not milling one of these up. And I talked a little bit about it in my last video about value. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was these mills are built tough. I have put some monster logs on my mill, and mine's not even a wide. I put a 4,700 pound ponderosa pine on my mill. I put a 20-foot by 32-inch Doug fir on the mill. I corner sawed a monster Doug fir like that as well. These mills can take it. Kevin's mill, when we started this day, had 2,135 hours on it. And he beats this mill. He works it hard. He put 1,600 hours in the last 2 years alone. And I know guys that have these mills with over 8,000 hours on them. So yes, they're big ugly logs. They're troublesome. They can be a challenge to mill. However, you can get some great lumber out of them. And if a customer wants you to mill those logs up, why not do it? Your mill can take it. I'm telling you right now, I have beat my mill. Kevin beats this mill. Wood-Mizer mills are designed to take it. They will take a beating and keep on trucking. So, there you have it. That's my spiel on ugly logs, folks. Yep, I'll keep milling them. All right, let's let Kevin get this log milled down. And of course, got more for you, so stick around. Let's watch it get done, and I'll come back to you here shortly.
All right, band change time. That's pretty clean in there for the amount of sycamore that's already been done.
That's pretty slick.
Look at that. You see how quickly he put that band away, folks?
That's pretty slick.
I don't coil my bands, so I don't have to do that, but that was fast.
I'm not quite as quick at uncoiling. That's the dangerous part.
Now, a lot of people always ask, can I help you? And I always tell them no. No, one person changes the band. Almost seems like doing a band change on a whitehead might have been a little easier than what I deal with, but your debarker's in a different place, so that's kind of nice. I like that. I need to change to that debarker.
I actually prefer the old debarker like what you have better.
Really?
Yeah.
This one doesn't spin it right in your face.
You're right, it doesn't. But it's got so much leverage out here on big logs, it lifts the head.
Oh.
So you gotta be real careful, otherwise you get waves.
And that, folks, is what you get from experience. One thing about running these mills, especially if you've run more than just one of them, is you get to kind of see and experience some of the little idiosyncrasies about all of these mills. And it's one of the things that I'm trying to bring to you with these videos, so I hope you like them. And by the way, if you do like them, if you're getting something out of them, do me a favor, smash that like button for me. It really helps the channel out if you do, and I really love it if you did that. So thank you very much for doing it. Now, one more thing about this type of debarker that Kevin mentioned to me was that it does have a tendency to dig in. Now, I don't know if Wood-Mizer has changed it since this one came out, and I mentioned in a previous video, Kevin's mill didn't come with a debarker because they didn't have one for this mill at the time. When they came out with it, Kevin got one, had it put on, And then they began to kind of figure it out. And he mentioned that in the beginning, that debarker tended to want to drive into the wood. And so they had to put a plate on the bottom of it, which you may have seen when he was changing the band, to prevent it from actually going too far in. It's about a 1/4 inch plate that's kind of rounded. It's at the bottom of the cutter. And so as it cuts into the bark, it can't go past that plate on the bottom of the debarker. So that was kind of another thing that he mentioned about that. It is interesting. They also changed where the head rides when you're driving down the road. They moved it forward a little bit. And one of the things that Kevin can't do that I can is he can't travel down the road with a band on the mill. Versus the LT40 standard, I can, and I like to do that. I feel it keeps the idle band wheel from spinning all the time. That's the band wheel on the right. The left one is the drive side if you're looking at the mill from behind it, at the operator's control. The right side's the idle side, the left side's the drive side. Now, another thing I noticed with Kevin's mill, when he changed the band, he was able to spin both band wheels easily. Mine doesn't do that. I need to figure out why that is. All right, so he's getting this thing built to a cant. He's gonna knock it down. The customer had some wood that they wanted, some 1x6, some 2x6, things like that. So Kevin's just working down to that. He's gonna get that done. And there's that debarker in action there. So let's let it go, let's let him run it. And of course, I'll come back to you before it's over and give you my final thoughts. So stick around, folks. Let's get this one done. All right, watch this. Boom. I love that. You know, there's just something about sawdust, flipping cants, and just milling lumber. We're getting down there. He's got this into 2 6-inch cants, so now he can just start knocking it down and get this one off the deck. And, you know, while he runs through this, I wanted to mention a couple things to you. One, don't forget to check out the merch store down below. I think you'll like some of those down there. There's a cup down there. I love the smell of sawdust in the morning. I've also got my It's Bourbon 30 glasses, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff in there, so go check it out. I think you might enjoy it. And you know, I don't make much off of it, but it does help the channel out, and I really appreciate it. Now, there's another thing that I'm doing. I just started memberships. If you're a fan of the old Jarhead's YouTube, guess what, folks? I am going to give a whole lot more inside information with some one-on-one stuff, some members-only live chats, all kinds of stuff. So I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I really held off doing this because I have to be honest with you, it's kind of a challenge to decide what I'm going to do. I work so hard on my videos, I don't always have enough time to really devote much to other social media platforms. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to do memberships. That will be another focus on the channel. And that's where, for those that really want to get information about milling and get questions answered, or just chat or learn about what I do on YouTube, and a lot of the stuff I often talk about on my lives, I'm going to put more effort into the members section for those things. And then there'll be other stuff in there, stuff that I'm working on. You'll be able to watch videos sooner. When I finish a video like this one, I'll be able to put it out maybe a few days or even a week before it goes live, and you'll be able to go and watch it and actually comment and all that kind of stuff on it. But there will also be members only community page posting and priority posting and all kinds of stuff for members. So go check it out. It's less than half a cup of coffee a month these days, folks. So if you could spare a half a cup of coffee, you might find it worth it. There's no obligation. You can cancel anytime. And this isn't a commercial for that, but I wanted to let you know that I am actually having memberships now instead of a Patreon. If you watch YouTube, you've seen a lot of people use Patreon. I've decided not to go that route. I'm going to use YouTube's memberships instead. I think it offers some great features. And I think for the Sawyers, which is the second level of memberships, that's where I'm going to concentrate on things like meetups and that kind of stuff. So one of the things I'm working on now is going out and filming other sawmills. So maybe you become one of my members, and maybe you're not thousands of miles away, and you'd like to have your sawmill featured on the old Jarhead's Sawdust Roadshow. Well, guess what? As a Sawyer membership level, that is something that I'm going to be working on. So check it out. It would really support the channel. I know, folks, it's kind of tough these days, but to be honest, don't make much making YouTube videos, so it kind of helps me put them out, and I really do appreciate it. If nothing else, check them out. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let's get back to it. Let's get this logged on. He's only got a few more boards to cut here. He's just cutting down the final bit of this cant, and he's going to cut some flitches, so let's let Kevin get her done, and then I'll get right back to you. All right, folks, he's got her done. You know, I gotta tell you, I missed filming the Jeep dragging the log over at the beginning of this video. Well, guess what? In the next video, you're gonna get to see that too. Lots more to come. Great deal of fun happening here, folks. Check us out next week. Until then, y'all have a great week. The old Jarhead out.
Oh, what do you think?
Oh, it's amazing. Can't believe how quick you can cut this stuff off. Can't keep up with you.